let's transition a little bit from Harry Truman to John Beatty. Okay. So John Beatty's running for Congress. John, did you know that you're running for Congress?
I was the one who signed the papers, so I'm
Okay.
well aware.
So as your campaign consultant, I just like to let you know that the unrepresented people that Harry Truman saw back then, those are the same unrepresented people that we see today. And the way that we're going to win our election is by doing the same thing that Harry Truman did. We're going to go out, we're going to meet with those people. We're going to give them an opportunity to talk. We're going to show them that somebody cares and somebody's going to represent them. And so we got a few announcements we want to share, things going on for the campaign. So we've got three Meet John events. So this is it's going to be at Great Main Brewery on Monday the 5th, Monday the 12th, and Monday the 19th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, you'll be able to come out and meet John because he's going to be your representative. And you really should be able to talk with the person that represents you in Congress. So we're trying to make it easy. You know, three Mondays, you come on out, and John, what do the people get?
We're actually going to provide libations, if you will. So if you come out to Great Maine, we'll give you a beer on us, just to, sweeten the deal. If you don't drink, that's fine. We'll get you a soda, no
They have
problem.
delicious root beer
And they've got water too, if that floats your
and
boat. So
kombucha.
plenty of options. The 19th is President's Day, so if you're not working, I know it's gonna work the next day maybe, but it's another day that we're just trying to make it so that we can actually talk to people so we can represent, so I can represent you, so you can be represented in Congress. Um, it was funny actually, just you mentioned the CIA because there was a lunchtime discussion about the CIA not having sort of like the intelligence community not being able to share things and then people not trusting them. And then I was kind of thinking about it, it's a lot like representation where, your elected leaders, sometimes they can't really share things with you, but if they don't have a relationship with the people that they're supposed to represent, when big problems happen and trust gets frayed, if you don't, know them well, it's easy for the trust of the community, the trust the body politic to be lost, and then things start getting in a downward spiral. And that was exactly what happened on like the Loudoun County School Board. I think it was a brand new board, shortened the term, and you had the pandemic and not enough time for kind of actually even within the board for relationships to be built. And then that leads to problems further down the line. So this is an opportunity for anyone. We'll talk and share ideas. I'll listen to you, and let you do most of the talking so I can be a better representative.
Well, I mean, and as a citizen and a campaign consultant, what I would tell you if you're going as a citizen, you shouldn't just do all the talking. You should get John to talk, and you should make him talk about things just ask him questions and listen to what he has to say. And I think that's kind of the part that we lose as citizens is this idea that the representatives are supposed to do what we tell them. But there's so many more of us than there is of them. So they can't just do what you tell them to do. They have to like listen to everybody and kind of formulate their own ideas. And those ideas should be formulated on hard work and study of history. And that's what, John's bringing to this campaign. And that's why he's going to be the guy to win this election and to bring actual representation to Congress. So, but it's not going to happen alone. We need lots of help. We've got two more events on our calendar coming up. We've got two door knocking events on the 10th, February 10th, and the 17th. Now, we understand that this is February, so maybe it snows and maybe it gets canceled, but we do plan to knock.
Or
And
maybe it'll be 70 degrees because the weather's crazy around here. You never
that's
know.
right. And when you come out, you're going to get a script, you're going to get some training, you're going to get some coffee. Okay. You're going to get a map and directions on where to go. And then you're going to knock all the doors. Okay. I know that's going to be a strange concept for some of you out there, but it's important that we go to everyone and not just the people that we always go to. And then, John, I've got another event. This is off the campaign. We'll call it a Madisonian event, but I don't know if you noticed, but I've been drinking Heritage Brewing beer tonight, and they've got it's American Expedition, and it's located here in Manassas or nearby in Manassas. And the owner asked me to do tank talks, and
Mhm.
we're going to start those the last week of February. It's going to be February 26th, and the first tank talk is about George Washington. It's going to be from 6:30 to 8. You can register. You can register on the Madisonian Republican website, and then come out and let me tell you a story about George Washington. Let me tell you about how, he started in the French and Indian War and then ended up, leading us to independence, breaking free of Britain, you know, governing our nation, overseeing the Constitution. It's just a fantastic story. So it'll be a good time.
You're going
I've
to talk about him retiring peacefully at the end and letting go of power. It's a lot of people could take a lesson from.
And speaking of Harry Truman also, he could have run for another term, but he decided not to. And his one of his heroes was also Cincinnatus, just like Washington.
There you go.
So lots of upcoming events, for the campaign. And then if you're just a history nerd who happens to be listening to the show because we talk history, you've got a tank talk that you can come out to. But what, I think my outside view from politics is sometimes if you want to volunteer for a campaign, they don't necessarily have things for you to do. They don't really necessarily explain it. So on our website at uh, um, Beatty4.us, you can go to our volunteer page. If you're looking, maybe you don't have money to donate, but you still want to make some difference. You can go to our volunteer page. You can sign up to be a volunteer. We've got a few different options for you. We've got a door knocker. We already talked about that. We've got 2 events on the calendar already. We can train you. We can give you a script. We can help you get through. It's a different experience, but it's enjoyable. We've got small group leaders. This is probably the best way for somebody to be involved that doesn't like confrontation. You can just invite your favorite people to your house, the ones that even if you disagree, you'll disagree civilly, and then just invite John over. Let him talk to him. Let him share what his plan for congressional reform is and help us build a coalition to win the primary. And then social media. So there's 2 different ways to help out for social media. You can just be part of our social media team, retweet, like, share anytime we post anything. Or you can be part of our social media content team. This is for somebody that's a graphic designer or just an artist on the side. They just want to put things together. I come up with lots of ideas, but I run out of time every day, right? Just putting together some graphics, quick things that John can post regularly. We like to keep them informational. Our goal is not to just spam people with ads. We want to give them valuable information that they can actually help them in their day-to-day lives and will also show John's strength as an individual going into Congress. And then we're looking for election day volunteers. There's lots of things that go into the election process. You got to have lots of people there passing out information. So we'd love to, just get that locked down and get out of the way. If you're close to John or myself, friends and family, and you really just you want to feel like you're being helpful, this might be the best way for you to sign up because you're locking down a position that we need. It gets it off of our plate, and we make sure that on election day we have the proper staff to make sure that we bring home votes and we get that W.
And the election day volunteer would be incredibly important this time because it's going to be, we'll need, if we can, we'll get someone for every precinct. And there's a lot of precincts in the 10th district. Going
Yes.
back to the districts being too large.
I wonder if anybody could do anything about that, John.
Someone can, Jeff. It's in the Constitution, the ability for the House of Representatives to set their what is it, requirements for membership or the number of members, all sorts of things that Congress actually has the authority and the ability to do. So it can be done.
Yeah, we just need a congressman to walk into Congress and kind of remind them of their power. Just be like, hey, you remember this is our job?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh,
So real excited. You visit our website. If you're not on our email list, go to our email list. Remember the website is 84.us. And if you have the ability and you want to donate, please donate. We need your money. I'm not gonna lie. It's expensive. You can donate up to $3,300 per election cycle. Okay. So what that means is up until the primary, you can donate up $3,300. After John wins the primary with your $3,300, You can donate another $3,300 so John can win the general election. And then we can have real representation in Washington that represents our district and our country with the values that it was supposed to have. Bring a little virtue back to the Republic, John, by begging for money.
It's just part of what did I say? I have my, so I don't know if people know this, but there's a big printout about all the rules it takes to run for Congress. And I texted you, Jeff. I was like, don't hate the player, hate the game. I mean,